There is no greatness in the business love. Nothing great about it. The love of the parents is like they always love you whether you love them or not, because it's their duty. The parents, they have to take care of the kids and everything. Some other person, even if you love him or not, he doesn't love anyone. Example is Atma, he's not attached to anything in this world. It's okay. Yeah? It's this. He's having happiness in his own self. Did you get your earphones? Some example is given. Sukhadev goswami pad. Sukhadev Goswami is the example of Atma person. He's not attached to anything in this world. For example, he was born from the womb of his mother and he was moving towards the jungle. He was saying, "Putra, oh my son, oh my son." His father, Vyasadevji, was saying, calling him, "Oh my son." But it's okay here. It's in front of you. His father was calling for him, but Sukhadev Goswami didn't even look at his father. All this echo was coming. The echo was saying, "Who is your son? Kakas paribeda. Are you crying for home? This world is temporary." Everything's like a dream. It's okay. So it's like a dream. In the dream we see many things. What do you see in the dream? That you're flying in the sky. Or that you see also in the dream that you became a king, for example. You're very happy. Great party is going on, celebration. Then you wake up and you see, oh my, I'm sleeping on the bed. Or maybe on the floor. And you're dreaming you're a king. The same way. This world is temporary, everything. Nothing has real essence or truthfulness. Like everything is temporary, it's not real truth. Like, For example, when we change our body, all the relationships change, everything. We are so attached for those things related to our body, and we are with them and bound. But when we give up the body, what happens? We burn this body. And then the 5 kinds of elements of the body, the material body, fire, ether, air, water, earth, the 5 elements, they merge in the element. Like each element merge in the element. So all this illusion of Maya, like, and then you have to take another birth, another body, another family, then again you attach with this other family, other people. So you leave your previous place, like from previous life, and then you come to another place where you're gonna be born again in the next birth. This is samsara. Para means like a resting place. When you do parikrama, for example, there are some places that you can just like take some rest, like a stop. Then you can just take some rest there, and then you again continue your journey to the other place. So you like many spots for resting. So in the same way, the soul is always going from one body to another body, then to another body, then to another body. So now we are in this body, that we're like resting, staying in this body. Then we give up this body, go to another body, then we forget. This is what's happening with the living entities. The advaitavada say this world is like this. But what is the benefit of these attachments? And our attachment actually is the cause of our distress. Like suppose if one person is walking but carrying and starts carrying 10 kilos of one rock that weighs 10 kilos, then he's changing his, like sometimes he hold the rock in the other hand, sometimes in the shoulder, and then starts painting. Then he shifts the rock to the stone to the other shoulder. Like he's walking but carrying that weight, and all the time he's feeling pain and then changing the position where he's carrying. But actually, if it drops the stone, then he'll stop feeling this pain. So the advaitavadis say, just give up this attachment. But how to do that? It's easy to speak. But how can we give up? Very hard to give up. This world is full of suffering. We know this. This world is full of suffering. Once you come to this material world, it's not so easy to give up these illusions of Maya. In front of it? So speaking about Vyasadeva told, oh my son, and then the echo was coming. Kakasya putra paribedana. Who is your son? So the example of Atma Purush is Sukhadev Goswami. But even this Atmaram person, if he hears Harikatha, he'll give up this Atmaramata, self-satisfaction, and he will go towards Shri Hari. Because the Katha of Bhagavan has so much potency. Even a Harikatha even attracts someone who is self-satisfied and bring this person towards Lord and engage this person in the service of Bhagavan. Okay, example of apta. What is he? Do you remember? Yes, Janak Maharaj, the father of Sita, Sraddha Janak. Even though he was staying in this world, he didn't have any attachment for anything. He was never happy or in distress also, never. I think this behind the camera. So he is not feeling any manifest, any change in his heart. His heart doesn't change when he is suffering or when he is happy. Never. He's not attached to anything. He's not attached to anything. He doesn't have fear, no anger. And he's always with his heart fixed in his worshipable deity. Can you stop working? So, actually, Atmaram and Aptakam, they look like same. Is this true? So, what is the difference? What is the difference between Atmaram and Aptakam person? What is the difference? If they were same, why would separate into different categories? Do you understand? The Atmaram person doesn't see any material thing. Would you like to switch? Okay, yes. So he was, Sukhadev Goswami was walking on the forest, and then there were some ladies naked, bathing. And then Sukadeva Goswami didn't even see them. He didn't even see them. They also didn't, like he was not agitated, like disturbed by their presence. So, but when the girls saw the father of Sukadeva, Vyasadeva, they became so ashamed. Then Vyasadeva later on, he wondered when my son passed by, the girls didn't feel ashamed, nothing. They didn't put their clothes on. They didn't even were bothered by his presence. But when I came by, they were so much disturbed, and they covered their bodies and everything. So the answer was really nice. Shukadeva Goswami, when he was passing by, his mind was focused in Brahma. His mind was in Brahma, so he didn't see even them. He didn't see the girls at all. Are they women or a piece of wood? He couldn't even tell. But Vyasadeva, he has dvaitavada. He has this dualism. He sees things in a dualism. One thing is monism, everything is one. Another is dvaitavada, like dualism, dvaitavada, dvaitavada. The conception of the Sampradaya explains. So when there are two things, there is difference between one and another. So Madhacharya, he preached the philosophy called dvaitavada, dualism. I'm a man, I'm a woman. This difference is there. So when there is difference, there is bikar, transformation. Brahma is only one, that's why Brahma has no transformation. Because when there is only one, there is no transformation. The Siddhanta of the advaitavadis is exactly this. They say Brahma is only one. And in dvaitavada, dualism, okay, Brahma is there, but at the same time, Brahma also has a potency. Brahma and the potency of Brahma, there are two things there. Then the achinta, bheda, tattva also explains that. Inconceivable, non-difference and difference at the same time. There's difference and non-difference, bheda. So there is difference and also non-difference. And it's exactly the achinta, bheda, tattva siddhanta presented by Mahaprabhu. This is something inconceivable. Brahma is only one, but he has an inconceivable potency. And dvaitavadis, they accept Brahma but not his potency. Do you understand? But in the dualism there are the two, God and his potency, Brahma and Brahma Shakti. What is the non-difference they have? Bhagavan is Chinmay, spiritual. The Jiva, the abheda, like what they have is same. What is the equal? They are both spiritual. Jiva is also Chinmay, spiritual, but actually some quantity, like God is Brihad, very big and great. The Jiva is infinitesimal. So there's some difference between them. So Mahaprabhu explained how there is the achinta, bheda, tattva siddhanta. There's only one supreme truth. Only one supreme truth, Bhagavan. He has inconceivable potency in him. So the word used this Svabhaviki potency. It's something that's not coming from outside. Svabhavik is something that belongs to the substance. It's always there, like inherent. But sometimes manifests, sometimes not. Like the 5 elements are also inside a piece of wood. Even the fire, but it's not manifesting. Isn't it? So when what substance exists, the substance always has an inherent nature. Dharma means nature. Each thing has a special nature, always inherent. Javadharma gives the example of the water H2O. What you say about water? So the nature of the water is to be liquid. When the situation changes, the water becomes ice. Then the water is cold and solid. So it changes its nature. Generally the water is liquid, but because it's changed the environment, the water became solid. You can lift a piece of ice in your hand, but you cannot lift water with your hand. You need some recipient. The nature of the water is always in the water. If you put some heat in the ice, then the ice will melt. And it will be liquid again. So, dvaitavada and advaitavada. From a limited time, there is a great debate between them. Then Mahaprabhu came and established the achinta, bheda, bheda, tattva siddhanta. There is difference and non-difference. Do you know where? Really? You sure? If it's easier. Generally, some pins are there behind. So the Atma person, his mind is always focused in Brahma. He's not even looking at anything in this world. But the apta he's in this world, he sees everything, but he's not attached to anything. This is the difference. So the question you asked, Vyasadeva asked the question. My son passed by you. You didn't feel ashamed. And nothing happened when he passed by. But when you saw me, you felt ashamed. You covered your body. Why? Thank you so much. Because Vyasadevji is saying, he's my son, I'm his father, so some dualism is there. Two things, right? So, difference between two things. When I say this difference, the difference is between two things, not between only one thing. If there are two things, then they can have some difference between each other. So when there are two things, then they are different. Like you cannot have different in only one thing with itself. To compare, you need two objects. You know. If there's only one object, then you cannot compare it. One boy is saying, "Mother, I'm the first in school. I'm the first in school." His mother say, "Mother, son, in your class, there are how many kids?" Then the boy told, "Oh, I'm the only kid in my class." So, if I'm alone, there's no difference. Advaitavadis say there's only one Brahma, nothing else. But the Gaudiya Siddhanta is that Brahma is there and his potency is also there. God and his potency. And there's no difference between Shakti and Shaktiman. Sometimes this potency manifests, sometimes not. In Gaudiya Siddhanta we call this Murta and Amurta. What did I say? Murta or Amurta. The potency. Shakti, the potency of Brahma or any potency can be manifesting or not. For example, you have Krodha Shakti, potency to be anger, but now you're not manifesting, but sometimes some situation is there, then you manifest your anger. So all these conceptions are there. Anyway. Atmaram and aptakam. If you love an atmaram or aptakam, you won't get any fruit. Another guru drohi, someone who criticizes guru, he's an offender. Also, you cannot love these persons, nothing. Actually, they're going to hell. Somebody who criticized the guru and fourth type is the ungrateful person, akrutagna. So one thing is grateful and ungrateful. Huh? Akrutagna. Akrutagna. Sorry, did you what?
Akrutagna.
So you give so much love and affection to that person. You taught him, like you give money for his studies. There was a boy, his mother had passed away. That boy didn't have anyone to help him out. Then what you did? You helped that boy, give love and affection. I helped him finish his studies, and later on also he became really scholar, like intelligent. He also got nice job in high post, high rank. Or then you became poor later, came to him, and he says, I don't even know who you are, get out. Then are you gonna say, oh, but I have helped you so much before? Then the person like, you've done that? Actually, I arranged myself. But some people, they don't accept the welfare others do to them. This is called akrutagna. So akrutagna or akrutagna. There are many people in this world like this. You give so much love and affection to the person, you fed him, you did so many good things for him. And then the same person will kill you, or anyway, like do something bad to you, or so you took care of that person. Or like even the parents give me so much love and affection, everything, but even maybe the person is not even looking behind, like not even caring for them, nothing. You saw in the YouTube, there was a boy, a Hindu boy fell in love for a Muslim girl, but the Muslims are very dangerous. So the Muslims are saying that the Muslims call the Hindus kafir, and the father told the daughter, you should not involve with him. The father told, like father of the Muslim girl, I have taught you so many things, very nice. And now you went with the Muslim. So they become so hard. Gratefulness, ungratefulness. If you don't accept something a person did for you, this is ungratefulness. Gurudev told one story. There was a king. He had one barber. When the barber was like young, actually since young age, the king had always been giving so much love and affection to that barber, taking care of him just like a son. Once, what happened? By the influence of time, the barber did some wrong things. So the king, according to the rules, the king should give the death penalty to him. All the ministers also advise him, Maharaj, you must give him death penalty as a punishment. But the king was thinking, how will I do that? Because I have always taken care of him and had a relation just like father and son. But all the other people, they were pressurizing the king, saying, you have to do that. You must give death penalty to him, yes. You know, you're setting the throne. Actually, the kings have to accept the advices of the ministers, right? Otherwise the ministers will like resign their posts. So in the end the king he decided to as a death penalty, he decided to put him in the cage of the lion, a cage of a lion. So the barber was put in the cage of a lion to die, and everybody outside watching. But the lion came to attack him, but then the lion just sat in front of him, and then with his tongue like after 2-4 times he I would say he sniffed his body, and then the lion did not attack him, and like hours passed and nothing. And then the king told, come out, take him out of the cage. Actually there's a rule. Suppose you're going to get the penalty hanged. If in that moment, by some reason you were saved, if by any reason, maybe for example the rope was not put properly or something, and then you were saved from death in hanging, actually you're not again. They cannot give death penalty again to you. It's like death penalty is only given once. If you don't die in that moment, they will not kill you later. The government. Okay, so he was like saved from death, so he came out of the cage. Then everyone, the ministers, everyone, they were curious. They asked the barber, how come the lion didn't eat you? He just sniffed your body, and then he sat down. Then the barber told one story. He told, some days ago, I had gone to the forest for some reason. I saw one lion was there. And the lion was moving his paw, looked like he was feeling pain. Then I saw that his paw was like bleeding. It was obvious that the lion needed some help, and he wanted some help. So I risked my own life, and I came near to a lion. Can anybody come near a lion? Would anybody do that? So I risked my own life, and I came near the lion. And I saw, in his paw there were like 2 or 4 thorns, and that's why he was feeling so much pain. So I had something, then I was able to take out the thorns. Then I took some leaves from the forest with that liquid from these plants. I made some ointment and then I bound the wound. Then I left. This same lion is the one you caught. It was caught in the forest and kept in the cage with me. But the lion, he recognized me. He recognized me and realized that I had saved his life and had helped me. So even the animals, they are grateful. So the lion, he saw that I had helped him and he recognized me. That's why he didn't eat me. This is called akrutagna. So even the animals, they have this quality. What to speak of a human being? So ungrateful is when you don't accept something good someone has done for you, and when you accept, you're grateful. So, okay, another kind of love. Gopis asked Krishna, Haitu Prema, love with cause, and then love without cause. So all the loves that we know about in this world, actually all of them, they have a cause. When the cause is over, Prema is destroyed. I give the example of the garden, that the forests are living in that park, making their nests, while the garden is full of green leaves and fruits and flowers. Then the birds are living in that forest. Right? But when the same garden dries up, there's no fruits, nothing, not even leaves in the trees, the birds, they flee, they get out, they go away, they abandon the garden. So the birds only stay there when they are having some gain, like fruits and everything green and beautiful. So there's a condition. They want the food, the beauty, not the beauty, sorry, the food and the green leaves. Another example, Ganika, prostitute. The prostitute, Ganika, prostitute. She has this love for these men when they have money, while they have money. If the money of the men finish, the prostitute, Ganika means Vishya, prostitute. In Sanskrit is Ganika. So she only love the man while he has money. Actually, just because she wants the money, that's why she loves him. But when he doesn't have money anymore, she'll leave him. So she relates with him only for money. If he doesn't have money, she'll leave him. There are many examples of this love that you have interest, self-interest. Like, for example, the student in the school, he has love for the teacher, affection for the teacher, while he doesn't have the degree yet. But when he gets the degree, he also goes away from the school and doesn't keep any relationship with his teachers. Subjects also, they have affection for the king or the governor, while the king is in that position, everything's good. But when the king is out of the position of being king, also subjects don't keep a relationship. So if one person is in his position, in his own capacity, everybody's having this relationship and giving honor But if you're not in that position, then nobody will come to you and relate. So the Gopis thought all the love exists in this world, they have a cause, Haitu. But what is nirupadik love? Nirupadik, unconditional love. Nirupadik. Doesn't want to take anything, nothing. Nirupadik Prema, unconditional love. So the Gopis asked, so Krishna, which one of these loves you have? So, two more are there, Haitu Ahaitu, causeless and love with cause. Then Krishna told what? The Gopis. Actually, amongst these 9, I'm not even one of them. I'm not in even one of them. Actually, the love we have for each other is Svabhaviki Prema. Actually, both Krishna and Gopis, both of them, the love they have, it's called Svabhaviki, completely inherent, it's natural for them. This love which is natural can never be given up. Just like the fire and its burning potency. Like the potency to burn of the fire is natural to the fire, inherent. So the fire and the potency of the fire to burn, Dahika Shakti, cannot separate both of them. Cannot separate fire and its potency of burning. Maybe sometimes this is manifesting, maybe not. This is another point. Like sometimes. What? Yeah? Sorry? By some tantras and mantras, tantra, you can control the potency of the fire to burn. Like you can control that burning of the fire with mantras. Have you seen this? Yogis? Like some people sometimes they are walking in the fire. In the fire walking inside. Because with tantra mantras, yes, they can like stop or paralyze or stun this Dahika Shakti, the burning of the fire, they can stun this potency. But the potency is there. Have you seen this? आपने देखा? It's not artificial, it's really true. Like the fire is burning, but the person with tantras and mantras, the person makes the Dahika Shakti, the burning potency of the fire, like stunned, like not moving or paralyzed. So the person is in the fire, but it's not burning his body. See, the mantra, yes, mantra has this potency, this ability. Mystic powers and other things. You know the sister of Ravan? What is her name? Sorry, Hiranyakashipu. Her sister, Holika. She would sit in the fire and fire would not burn her. But when she sat with Prahlada, Holika was burned and Prahlada was saved. So in this way, by tantras and mantras, for some time, the potency of burning of the fire, Dahika Shakti, can be stunned. Yeah, tantra mantra has this power. It's called mantra Shakti, the potency of the mantra. Also the mystic powers like anima, lagima, becoming big or very small. The yogis, they do this. They have ashtasi, these 8 perfections, mystic powers, navanidhi, 9 jewels. About Shankarachraya also we see this. When Shankarachraya, he was going to many places to defeat all the Panditas, Digvijay. When he came to Komaril Bhatta, but at that time Komaril Bhatta, He was sick, but he had a disciple. His name was so he was a great pandit. At that time they used to cut each other's philosophy with the Shastra philosophy and establish their own philosophy. And you have to make, like, the person who loses in these debates, they become like your follower or your servants. So what is he saying? So then Shankaracharya defeated this person. Then the wife of this person told Shankaracharya, look, you defeated my husband only, but I am half of his body, actually. So it's not complete because you haven't defeated me. I'm his wife. So you should also discuss the Shastras with me. Shankaracharya said, okay. But this lady was a Vidushi Mahila, very learned and scholarly, intelligent woman. What is his name? Her name? Did you find the name? The disciple of Kumarila Bhatta was. So she was also a Vidushi Mahila, very learned woman. Okay, about which topic do you want to discuss? Then the woman said, I want to discuss about Kama Shastra. Then hearing this, Shankaracharya was so afraid. He was brahmachari since his birth, and was also a sannyasi. A sannyasi cannot discuss about this lusty relations between women and men. So he thought I would lose, of course. This debate I would lose. Then she said, okay, so you were defeated, you can accept your defeat. Then Shankaracharya said, but give me 2 months. Give me 2 months, then I will sort something out. Okay. Shankaracharya first said, look, keep my body fixed in one place and don't touch my body, like keep my body protected before I come back. Then Shankaracharya came out of his gross body, came out of it. It came in his subtle body. So the body of the king was going to be cremated. A king had died and his body was about to be cremated. So suddenly the king came back to life because actually Shankaracharya, his subtle body, had entered in him. Then he just said, no, it's not like that, but actually I hadn't died like this. So they discuss about the relations between women and men, Kama Shastra. Then later Shankaracharya came out of his body after 2 months, then he came back to his own body. So Shankaracharya was able to defeat him. Mandana Misra, his name. Mandana Misra. Yes, the name of this man was Mandana Misra. I don't remember all these names, so how can I give Harikatha? You should at least remember, write it down, and remember these names. Ubhaya Bharati. Ubhaya Bharati, his wife. Ubhaya Bharati, his wife, is saying. Mandana Misra. Ubhaya Bharati. Saying Google. Saying. Yes, it's right. Many times Gurudeva. Yes. Beyond Nirvana. Beyond Nirvana. Beyond Nirvana, no? Is about Mayavadi philosophy. This. Yes. Yeah, in Portuguese, in English is Beyond Nirvana. So in this book, Mayavad Ki Jivan, but in English is Beyond Nirvana, they call it. It's a book of Svabhaviki Prema Goswami Maharaj, and also our Gurudeva, Shankarachraya Goswami Maharaj. He also explains about this life history of his Gurudev, Svabhaviki Prema Goswami Maharaj. Do you understand? So why am I saying this? The yogis, through yoga process, they are doing these things. So what was the context? Everything has a potency inherent. But sometimes it doesn't manifest, sometimes yes. This is the thing. So the Tattva Siddhanta is that when a substance is structured, automatically this substance has a dharma, like a property, a nature. So ekameva paramatata Svabhaviki achinta shakti. So this word is given two words, Svabhaviki and achinta shakti. So the shakti of God, potency of God is Svabhaviki, natural, inherent, spontaneous, and also is Svabhaviki and achinta, inconceivable. So these are the two adjectives of the potency of Lord. So in some Svabhaviki means something which is not coming from outside or external, something completely internal and inherent, natural. Maybe by some reason that thing can maybe be changed a bit, but actually this nature always goes with the substance. This is Swatasiddha, Svabhaviki, natural, completely natural, not something that you mix. It's nothing mixed. In the Western countries nowadays, many people they get the comida orgânica, organic food, like without this, like for example, pesticides. Because if you take, for example, potato, they mix so many some chemical things. Chemicals. Looks like very beautiful potato, but for the body is harmful. Nowadays this became common. If you go to the market, then the vegetable is colored, like looks like fresh, but it's not fresh. They put something, the chemical, just to look like new. You know the peas. I saw a pea, looks like new and green. When I put it in the water, it became like blue. and manifested how it was. It was like small and old actually, the piece. Even after 10 whistles in the pressure cook was not proper. But externally looked like fresh. Actually was old. Actually in the market nowadays in the markets mostly everything is this, like this. But those who stay in the village they can get fresh. But in the Western countries they don't have organic food. So people want this more and more in Western countries, organic food. So some food, that vegetables and fruits, that is not mixed with chemicals, like only natural fertilizer, but everything natural. Like maybe cow dung or something. But the organic food is like 2-3 times more expensive than the normal. It's really expensive. Yes. So every substance has a potency in nature. Sorry, every substance has a nature, and God has, or Brahma has a potency, shakti. So, but the advaitavadis don't want to accept it. But Mahaprabhu showed no. Brahma is true, only one, but Brahma has a potency, yes. Why the advaitavadis don't accept the shakti? Because if they accept the potency of Brahma, then this means that Brahma has a transformation. So they accept only one thing, they accept Brahma only. But they don't want to accept the shakti of Brahma. Because if there are two things, then there is the difference. If there's only one thing, cannot be any difference. If there are two persons sitting together chanting holy names, after some time, for a while they will chant holy names, then they start speaking, like talking. Is this true or not? Sometimes I tell one joke. A girl, she can make 10 chapatis. She can open 10 chapatis, like, open the chapati. And 5 girls, how many chapatis they can make? Not even one chapati. Because they'll be just speaking and speaking and speaking. If you think about mathematics, not 10. I think I spoke wrong. One girl can make 10 chapatis. So 5 girls should be able to make how many? 50 chapatis. But actually, 5 girls can make 0 chapati. Why? Because they're talking and talking. You can see. In one room, 2 persons are staying. How much holy names they'll chant? Not even one. Okay, for a little bit they'll chant, a little bit. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. After some time, the japamala in the hand, but chit-chat. And it's so nice chit-chatting. No harikatha. If it was 2 hours harikatha, okay, but 2 hours of only chit-chatting, and they're so relaxed in speaking. So, like Rupa and Sanatana, they were speaking harikatha to each other a long time. But now we take the japa and speaking to each other. What is it? What is it? You can ask him. What time we went to sleep yesterday? 1 a.m. How many rounds you chanted? Not even one. This happens. Speaking and speaking. So you slept, then go to Mangalarti, just sleeping. Because you have to sleep. So wake up 6, 7 or 8 a.m. Everybody is remembering Ashtakaliya Leela. They're remembering Ashtakaliya Leela. But if you stay alone, you can chant holy names. Wow. So much holy names coming. feel so much happiness. So I'll tell one story of Mahaprabhu. Every day Mahaprabhu used to wake up at 3 a.m. Like 4 o'clock, already up and chanting Holy names in Brahma Muhurta. Then, once Mahaprabhu, what did he do? He didn't wake up. It was 4, 4:30, even 5 p.m. Nothing. Nothing of Mahaprabhu. Then the servant of Mahaprabhu, Gobindo, touched like his lotus feet and woke him up. Mahaprabhu woke up. Mahaprabhu was really upset. Gobindo, what did you do? Why did you wake up? Why did you wake me up? You know, Mahaprabhu in the dream, actually, where was Mahaprabhu? He had gone to the Radha Kunda. Mahaprabhu said, I was in the Radha Kunda and I was watching the Leelas of Radha and Krishna. The beautiful pastimes of Radha and Krishna were going on. I was seeing the pastimes, you woke me up, and then my dream was over. So Mahaprabhu was really upset. This happens with you? But Mahaprabhu is saying, Mahaprabhu was upset. Sometimes the Mahabhagavatas, this happened with them also. But normal people would think, oh, they are sleeping like us, wake him up, wake him up. Like Ravan is saying, wake up, Kumbhakarna. Okay, the context of the Harikatha. So Krishna told 9 kinds of love. I'm not any of them. Krishna himself said, look, this first kind, business love, this is not me. If I would have a business love towards you, then why would I come back? Also, he's saying Haitu Prema, love with cause, is not a part of Guru Drohi. Guru Drohi says no, Guru Drohi is separate, is somebody who criticizes Guru and the different. Haitu means cause. Cosa? The teacher and the bird and all these examples. When the cause is destroyed, the love is also destroyed. It's not actual love. It's not real love. But Krishna says not even the Nirupadik Prem is mine. Nirupadik Prem. Krishna says the prema should be without designations, unconditional. Nirupadik love. But Krishna says, no, not even this. Actually, our love is natural, is spontaneous, Svabhaviki. Not even unconditional, is spontaneous. Svabhaviki. So he's counting the loves. First one, business love, okay. Second, because of the relationship. What did I say? What did you understand? 9 kinds of love. What are the 9 kinds? 1, if you love, he loves. This is business love. Second, they will always love you, whether you love him or not. You love, you don't love, they always love to you. Third, whether you love him or not, he will never love you. So this example, then Atmaram, Aptakam. And this is subdivided in 3-4. Atmaram, Aptakam, Drohi, and akrutagna. And in the brackets it said it's aparadhi. Aparadhi, akrutagna, aparadhi. Bracket. So it's also written in brackets is aparadhi. Huh? So what is there? Let's see what is I'm talking about here now. So Krishna said, I'm none of them. I'm not Atmaram. Aptakam, also not. Krishna said, if I was Atmaram, why would I come back to you? Why? And also, Aptakam, I'm not also. I'm also not a guru drohi. I'm not offended or also ungrateful. I'm not. Sorry, the aparadhi is the guru drohi, okay? So I am not the guru drohi aparadhi and I'm not also akrutagna. Krishna says, if I would be like this, why would I come back to you? Then, two more. Upadik Jukta Prem, Prem with cause or with designations, and Nirupadik Prem, unconditional. I don't also have the unconditional love. But the explanation is that because remember, when we use some word, another word is coming, like when I told Ananda. What is the antonym of Ananda? Doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. You might say Nirananda, but Nira is a prefix that you apply. But for example, day, antonym of day is night, then this is really antonym, obviously different. So Sanskrit should be explained completely antonym, like really the opposite of that thing. This is different. Like rog, disease, nirog, free of disease. So the word disease is there, rog, then you put nir and become nirog. Sukhi, happy, then asukhi, unhappy. So every word has a opposite. But the word Ananda, that's why Vedanta says Anandamai Brahma, Anandamai Besat, Anandamai Brahma. God is full of bliss, spiritual world also. There's no antonym for Ananda. The point is they have this conception. It's not my conception. So there's no antonym for Ananda. So Krishna is saying, our love is Svabhaviki, natural, spontaneous. Swata Siddha is like completely inherent and natural. It doesn't need to be established by anything else. So Praman, evidence. So one thing is Praman, evidence, and Prameya, something which is established by a Praman. One thing is Praman, another is Prameya. The Jiva is the eternal servant of Krishna. So you don't need to give evidence for that. No need to give Praman evidence. like the fire and the burning potency of the fire. Also need to prove it. And the shakti potency of burning is always in the fire. That's it. Mother is saying, he's my son. My son. Doesn't need to prove it. You just accept the words of your mother. That's it. Isn't it? No, he's not your son. Let's go check the DNA. And the mother is saying, no, I gave birth to this baby. I took care of him, everything. No need to prove it or give some evidence. But if you need to prove it, Gurudev was also one story. There was a woman, she gave birth to a boy. So in the hospital, something happens. One nurse stole the boy. A nurse stole the baby for some reason. And gave to some girl, one woman that did not have kids. Nurse gave baby to one woman that did not have kids. After some time, the mother realized that she got to know where the nurse had given her baby to. So there was a case with the judge. Like the biological mother and the other mother, they were fighting, like disputing for the baby. So how to prove which one is the mother? So at that time there was no DNA. You know, actually DNA is only 75% accurate. Do you know that? So now the scientists are saying, oh, he's your son or not. They're making this DNA test. But actually, it's only 75% accurate. 30% or 25% you cannot ascertain. But at that time, even the DNA was not available. So, how the judge will give this sentence about who is the real mother? Because both mothers were saying that the kid was theirs. So what the judge could do, you know? The judge, he has to find the justice and analyze and check the justice. Who this baby belongs to whom? So in the courtroom, when there are a dispute between two people, so the judge had to understand the kid belongs to whom in reality. But the judge also has to follow some rules. So actually the judge, maybe he realized some things, but he also needs to have some evidence to give the sentence, you say? So he said, look, okay, take half of it, half of the baby. Each one can take half of the kids. You can take half, each one. What is the meaning? You can kill the baby, each one take half, it's okay. The lady who was not the original mother, she agreed. But the original mother started crying. What? How to do this with my son? No, judge, no. Don't kill this baby, of course not. Okay, give it to her. Just give me the opportunity at least once a day to go to see my son. That's it. Whatever they are, whatever happens, I just want to see him. So the judge gave it the sentence. This lady is the real mother. Shastra explains, a mother would never ever kill her own son or see this situation. Only a Rakshasi could do that. So that lady was a demoness, the other one. That's why she said, I'll take half of the baby. Because actually no one mother would be able to accept this. What I want to say is that Svabhaviki, like natural, this love of the mother for her son, it's completely natural and spontaneous. It's not cannot separate this from the mother. So this potency His nature is completely spontaneous. God has Ananda, and the same Ananda is also in the Jivas, but in an infinitesimal portion. So Brahma is not Nirananda. Brahma cannot be Nirananda. Brahma has Ananda in him. Anyway, so Bhagavan said, Napareham. In the end, Krishna told this sloka to the Gopis, Napareham. Hey Gopis, actually, these 9 kinds of love that you explained, none of them, not even one of them I'm fitting. Actually, our love is completely nirabadha. The word is actually nirabadha samyojam. Nirabadha means completely natural, constant, and incessant and natural, spontaneous. Nirabadha. Then Krishna said, look, you are so great. You gave up all your family duties and you have come to serve me. This is not possible for any chaste woman. Krishna is saying, your glorious deeds are incomparable. The Shastra explains about many chaste ladies are glorified in the scriptures. But you're incomparable, completely incomparable. Krishna is telling the Gopis, this is true. And the love we have for each other, we can never pay off. I can never pay off this debt of our love. Krishna is saying this. And then Krishna told this verse. In the Gita, Krishna told, according how the devotee worship me, I will behave accordingly. So in the Gita, Krishna is telling about business love. So this verse, Jajatamam prapadanti tam stataiva bhajamyaham. Like, just like you behave to me, you love me, or I will do same to you. So in the Gita is talking about Prema. This Prema is also business love. But in the Bhagavatam, the love that described between Krishna and Gopis, this so in the Bhagavatam, Krishna says he is indebted to Gopis' love. So the glories of the Gopis' love is even higher than the glory of Krishna love. So in the Bhagavatam, in this discussion, what is Bhagavatam showing? The Bhagavatam, it is showing that the Gopi Prema is Gopi Prema is higher than Krishna Prema. Because in Gita, what is being described is business love. But in the Bhagavatam, it's saying another thing. It's showing the highest limit of Gopi Prema. That's why Krishna himself said, like how he is indebted. In the Bhagavatam, he's showing how he's indebted with the Gopis. This is true. What is the Siddhanta? Krishna is Vishaya Jati. He's the object of the love, and Gopis are shelter of the love, Vishaya Jati. That person can only give you something that he has. Like Krishna is Vishaya Jati, so he's the object of love. He can only give you this kind of love. But if you go to Srimati Radhika, she can give you Ashraya Jata Prem, the love of the shelter of the love, because she is that. So she can give you this kind of love. This is the Siddhanta. That's why Krishna himself, he feels himself indebted with the love of Srimati Radhika. And he could not relish completely this love in the pastimes of Krishna. Krishna couldn't relish it completely. So Krishna was having this doubt. What is the glory of being sheltered, of taking shelter of the Haitu Prema? So there are 3 rules explaining why Krishna came as Mahaprabhu. What is the glories of the love of Srimati Radhika towards me? Pranaya Mahima. This happiness. And what is also my sweetness and beauty that she's always relishing. 3rd, what she's feeling in the heart when she also drinks my beauty, my qualities, sweetness, like Krishna. These 3 desires were there. That's why Krishna came as Mahaprabhu to fulfill these 3 desires. But still Gurudev told, look, actually he couldn't do it completely. Why? Because Krishna is Vishaya Vigraha. He is the object of the love. So the happiness that the Ashraya Vigraha feels is higher than the Vishaya Vigraha. But Krishna relished something of this when he came as Mahaprabhu. He was staying in the Gambhira with Swarupa Damodar Raya Ramananda. But it was not complete. So all this tattva is being shown here.